Parents, welcome to this parenting webinar on how to parent with more ease and calm this Ramadan without the burnout or regret of missing out. I am Yusur Hassan, a parenting coach and educator, serving this beautiful Muslim community, and I'm so excited to be here. So many of us parents can agree that parenting is a 24-hour, 7 days a week job that doesn't stop, including our Ramadan struggles. Let's be honest, our children will still refuse to eat their breakfast, take hours to get ready in the morning as we juggle the many responsibilities of cooking iftar on time and constantly keeping them occupied. We can find ourselves feeling emotionally triggered by our children's behavior. Quite often, we end up feeling overwhelmed and frustrated by our Ramadan experiences, especially coming out of a pandemic where there was no escape from the constant stress, misbehaviors, and exhaustion of juggling so many responsibilities without extended family help and community. So I have a question for you in the month of Ramadan. Do you find yourself feeling physically, spiritually, or emotionally depleted at the end of your fasting day? Do you feel there's not enough time for your ibadah, for praying, for reading Quran, etc.? Do you find it challenging to empathize with family members who have short tempers? Or are you trying to do it all, that to-do list of yours, and it gets difficult to feel the Ramadan experience? Great, you're in the right place. Yes, Ramadan has incredible blessings, but it also comes with unique challenges for us mothers. Let's continue. I am so excited to spend the next hour with you in this webinar, where I'll be sharing some insights and tools to start shifting your parenting from overwhelm, burnout, to feeling more calm and not having the regret or burnout a lot of parents feel during the month of Ramadan. So great, alhamdulillah, so happy to have you all here. I will cover the 2 keys for creating more ease and calm in your Ramadan journey. I'm Yusur Hassan, your partner in parenting, a certified parent coach and educator. As a mother of 4 daughters for the last 23 years, homeschooling for 17 years, and a trained parent coach, I've had the beautiful opportunity to work with countless families over the past decade. I've worked with over 100 plus mothers, empowering them to step into their leadership roles, learning how to manage their big emotions, and cultivate positive parenting mindsets, all the while modeling the prophetic way of love, mercy, and patience. I've taught from East Africa, Kenya, to sunny California, hosting workshops, teaching live classes, as well as coaching one-on-one and in groups. So I'm so excited here to have for all the participants a link that I'm providing at the end of the workshop. Over the years, speaking with lots of parents and my own experience, parenting while fasting and fasting children can be quite challenging. I found when you have a Ramadan plan and reasonable expectations, things go a lot smoother for them and for us. That's why I'm providing you a list of 20 screen-free activities proven to keep your kids engaged and participating in Ramadan while having fun and building lifelong family memories, inshallah. So this is my disclaimer that this isn't a magic formula found in this webinar guaranteeing the perfect parenting, nor are you going to understand everything you need to know about creating more calm and ease in your parenting. But what you will learn today are some crucial insights on effective parenting approaches from an experienced mentor, and learn some amazing truths that will help give you food for thought. So as busy parents, I truly appreciate that you made it to this webinar despite your many responsibilities. Give yourself the gift of fully being present by turning off all distractions, phones, closing any other windows or television, really allowing yourself to gain whatever it is you intended to want to get from the webinar today. So now let's go ahead and get started. Let's remember our Islamic perspective in recognizing our children are an amana, a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide and to safekeep. Yes, we are responsible for fulfilling this trust to the best of our ability. It's our duty as parents to create loving and connected relationships with our beloved children so we can guide, teach them, and safekeep them. Parenting is an ibadah, form of worship, by beautifying our intentions and setting our intentions, and then taking action. There's a great reward with Allah out of His divine generosity. This really includes every diaper we change, every time we wake up to put our baby back to sleep, every lesson we teach patiently, every time we give our teenager the benefit of the doubt, not exploding on them and taking it personal, but setting firm boundaries and giving understanding. All can be forms of ibadah with setting intentions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with so much influence over our children, especially in the early years. So by stepping into our leadership more calmly, lovingly, yet firm when necessary, we can effectively parent our children. So let's get into key number 1, 3 mindset hacks to remove overwhelm and make the most of your Ramadan. This inner work of parenting starts with acknowledging our mindsets and our emotions. The inner work is such a beautiful part of our parenting journey. As one of my respected teachers has said, it is the opportunity that Allah gives us to refine our character in the most beautiful ways by aligning it with the prophetic model of love, mercy, and patience in our interactions, and so much more. So what are parenting mindsets? Quite simply put, mindsets are the thoughts and beliefs we hold about ourselves, our children, and the circumstances that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put us in. At every moment, Allah gives us a choice as to which thoughts and beliefs we choose, or we can choose. And these thoughts and beliefs drive our actions. So examples of negative or unhealthy parenting mindsets would be believing that parenting is so hard during Ramadan, or believing that kids just don't listen these days. Or often hear, I can't manage to parent and enjoy my Ramadan experience. You can only imagine believing any of these things would affect your emotions, would have you feeling sad, overwhelmed, probably even resentful. And then how would you behave as a result? You may not find solutions to how to manage your energy, how to create more energy within you, how to parent a little differently so your kids are able to listen better, are able to cooperate as they're expected to. So really shifting unhealthy negative parenting mindsets is the beginning of shifting our parenting approach. So the first place starts, as we said, is by taking back our thoughts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a capability of taking back our thoughts, which inform our emotions, and these emotions are what drives our actions. There is no compulsion, and we get the opportunity to take it back at any moment, because the reality is no one is forcing us to think what we think, to believe what we believe. No one's forcing us to feel what we feel, and no one's forcing us to act how we act. So, for example, if a parent was to believe my child never falls asleep unless I'm with her, I have to sit with her, I have to rock her to sleep, I have to sleep with her. A good place to start would be asking yourself a question. Is it true? Is it ultimately true that my child cannot sleep without me? And is it possible at some point that she can sleep by herself? So what's key here is asking the question, questioning the beliefs that really aren't serving us, and this opens us up to new solutions to our parenting challenges. Calm in our parenting is crucial, more now than ever. Having entered the blessed month of Ramadan, we have the opportunity to reset ourselves on so many levels: spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and provide a different experience of being together as a family based on cultivating more calm and more peace. So how many times have you thought as a parent, if my child would just behave and they would just listen, I could keep my cool as a parent. If my child would just listen, I could keep my cool as a parent. In reality, managing our emotions is what makes us peaceful as parents. When a child fails to do what we expect them to do, we often lose our cool and become angry and frustrated. whether they've spilt the milk, ran into the street, or hit their sibling. By questioning the belief and reframing your thoughts, you can better manage your emotions and therefore your behavior. This encourages us to instead focus on working together when we're calm to find a solution instead of being reactionary and getting angry or dishing out consequences in the heat of the moment. As I said, we do have a choice, however difficult it may be in the moment. So, good news, we have 3 simple mindsets to create more ease and calm. So, the reality is that every day we're given this opportunity to make new choices by Allah. When we're taking responsibility for our mindset and emotions that drive our parenting actions, we can then show up more calmly and effectively in our parenting and really feel good about the choices and the approach we take. Mindset hack number 1, go easy on yourself. Because we all know perfection is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no perfect Ramadan plan. There's no perfect experience. So going easy on yourself means showing yourself some empathy. Wherever you are in your current phase of life or season as a parent, you're juggling a lot of different roles. So be easy on yourself, not hard. Go easy on yourself means striving to do your best and trusting. Trusting your best is all Allah expects of you. So whatever your capacity is, whatever amount of ibadah you can do during the month of Ramadan while parenting in all your roles is all that is expected of you. Lastly, going easy on yourself is accepting you are exactly where you're supposed to be in your journey. Wherever Allah has placed you is just right and perfect for you. Whether you're a mom with a newborn nursing, whether you're a mother who has toddlers and elementary school children, whether you're a mom who has testing teenagers. We're in different places on our journey. We have different capacities and different forms of ibadah that we're able to take on and strive to fulfill. By taking this pressure off of ourselves, we'll feel less regret about needing to do more, especially in the month of Ramadan. But then we can start tasting the sweetness of those moments of connection with Allah throughout the month of Ramadan. Mindset hack number 2, get curious, not furious. When we approach our children in a furious state, it causes harm to the relationship because they are confused by all our upsetting emotions and they can't hear the lesson. And when we're in that state, there really is no lesson learned. What we can do is reframe the situation because we do have a choice either to allow our emotions to hijack us, our emotions, whether it's anger, frustration, disappointment, and explode these emotions onto our children, or we can take a pause, give ourselves permission not to respond in the moment. It can start with taking a deep breath, doing some dhikr, reminding ourselves it's not an emergency. And the next step would be getting curious about what's really going on for ourselves in this moment. Here are 3 ways we can check in with ourselves. First, we can ask ourselves, what am I feeling? And being honest with ourselves. Our feelings are a wonderful sign. They're a wonderful indicator to get us to knowing what we're thinking about what's happening. So we're feeling. And that could lead to, what am I thinking? What am I thinking about myself? What am I thinking about my child? What am I thinking about the circumstances? Lastly, what do I need? What do I need for myself? These simple reflections can dramatically make the difference. So you can shift from a furious state to a more calm state. It's more effective and a loving approach in your parenting, really more aligned with a prophetic way of showing gentleness with ourselves and with others. I myself haven't always remained calm in my last 23 years of parenting. Like the time it took 20 minutes to find my daughter who was hiding behind her dresser because she just didn't want to go to school that day. Oh, yeah, in the moment I was furious, even though I can laugh about it now. But what I've noticed is that it is when, what I've noticed that it has gotten easier. It's gotten easier when I show myself more empathy. In that moment, I was could have been asking myself, why do I feel so much pressure? Why am I so upset with her? Why do I feel as if she's not listening? What does that mean? And if I tended to my own needs in that moment to reassure myself that it was going to be okay at first, it really helped. And these are the small shifts over time that can have a big positive impact on your parenting journey. It's really about catching yourself just one time and creating this new inner habit. And with the Lord's help, as many moms I've worked with, this can happen to you too. So next time you feel the anger bubbling while you're parenting, I invite you instead to take the 5 minutes to get curious, not furious. Mindset hack number 3: lead by what you do, not by what you say. If we want to have more calm and ease and to reduce the exhaustion of parenting that's common, it starts with us modeling ease and calm in our interactions with our beloved kids. And yes, that starts with no more nagging, yelling, or shaming our children. I recommend instead, when dealing with our children's upsetting behavior, taking that pause, hitting your pause button, putting the space between you and your big emotions and how you respond to your child. As parents, we have the prerogative, we can always circle back around when we're feeling more calm and in the driver's seat. Then we can discipline more effectively. By pausing and not reacting, we're modeling beautifully good character, how they themselves can respond in those difficult moments to life's frustrations, disappointment, and anger. Our modeling is so important and precious to our kids. Secondly, by less directing, correcting, ordering our kids around, basically helicopter parenting, we can shift our focus to what our plan is we made and those expectations we have for our kids and helping them with their routines, and if need be, giving them consequences when necessary. This really reduces the main source of a lot of parenting exhaustion. We can take these steps to create so much more sakina, peace in our home environment. So let's go ahead and get into key number 2. How do we encourage our children to fast and actively participate in the month of Ramadan while having fun and building long life memories? Our kids need our support when fasting on all levels, spiritually, emotionally, physically. And here we'll discuss 4 ways to support and encourage our children. It starts with acknowledging that our children are young, and as so, they are not required to fast, and treating it more as a training time. We're training them, we're helping them develop the habit, develop the behavior of fasting. So perhaps for a 5-year-old, that may be fasting from lunch to snack time, and then from snack time to iftar. Or perhaps for older kids, maybe 8 or 9 or 10, having them fast. And then if something comes up where they're getting a headache or they need to take a little medicine for a condition they have, allowing them to have something small and taking care of their need. And then reminding them that they can reset their intention and then they can break fast with everyone else later. This really does build a certain amount of confidence and positivity if we approach our kids by treating this as a training when they grow into adulthood and then they're required to fast. So second here is organizing a schedule. The more you have a plan to occupy, the easier things go. Having a framework for your day, it may be a loose framework. It needs to have flexibility because it's the month of Ramadan. Things go a lot easier if the kids know what to expect. Next, knowing your child. Each of your children are different. Some of your kids may require more sleep. maybe more food, fluids, more drinking when they're fasting. So being able to help set them up for success and helping them take care of those needs that they have particular to them. Last is praise their efforts. When our children are fasting, we should never, never, ever criticize or show disappointment if they just can't maintain their fast. But the opposite should be happening. We should be acknowledging their children and they're learning and they're doing the best of their capacity. And we are so, so, so incredibly happy and proud for them to gain Allah's pleasure. Because it's counted. It's counted for them as children, which is such a blessing from Allah. So now we're going to get into 3 steps to support our kids without having to nag, yell, or shame them. So first step is stepping into your leadership by setting up clear expectations, routines, and schedules during the month of Ramadan, and enforcing them and leading them by your example. So if you're minimizing screen time for them, then it's important for you to minimize your own screen time. And you can use that time to bless your child with more of your full presence more often by providing our children loving connections and lots of positive interactions throughout the day. Not all day, just doses sprinkled throughout. We're providing these positive, loving interactions that kids so thrive on, as was the way of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He showed love for children in everything he did. Therefore, he was able to open up their hearts for his beautiful guidance. And it's quite similar with us. The more attention we give our kids in little ways throughout the day, the more cooperative they are. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the most realized in all of the 5 love languages. Words of affirmation, acts of service, gift giving, quality time, and physical touch are the 5 love languages that our kids could all benefit from. So now it's time, if one feels there's some disconnection with any of their children, disconnection shows up in perhaps us not having understanding between us and our children, perhaps an unwillingness on their part to do what they're told, or just straight out resistance to your guidance. Those are all signs of disconnection. However, Ramadan is a beautiful opportunity to reconnect with your kids for the sake of Allah, yourself, and your family. So step 2 here is having a Ramadan plan. When parents don't have a plan, it makes it much harder to guide and teach our kids. Teach them life lessons during Ramadan in particular, any life skills, characteristics, and so much more. Daily Ramadan routines and schedules includes things such as wake-up times, chore times, ibadah time, what they can do on their free time and when it is. We don't have some sort of framework for them to follow. We can easily resort to quick fixes, like allowing them lots of screen time, which doesn't really lead to effective parenting because they're not involved or connected to the family or us. But it also prevents them from having the opportunity to enjoy positive family interactions as they fast in the month of Ramadan. And this is where the memories are created in those little moments and exchanges and jokes. This is where the feelings of joy and happiness, excitement, peace, and so much more happens. Ramadan can be a time to jumpstart these loving and peaceful relationships with our family, bi'idhnillah. So lastly here, we're talking about providing alternatives to step 3. Part of having a Ramadan plan is providing activities that will really enhance our children's Ramadan experience. Yes, moving away from screens means doing something else. And as I said earlier, I'm providing a handout called the 21 Screen-Free Ideas for Kids during the month of Ramadan. It's an amazing list of so many simple things that can be done that don't require buying things, that don't require lots of hours. I'm going to go ahead and share a few of the things on the list. The first section here is independent and quiet time activities that you can plan ahead. It's important for the kids to have downtime to rest their bodies at some point during the fasting day. So having them read something, whether it's an Islamic book, or something appropriate for them to read is a good way for them to engage themselves in some entertainment and some fun. They could listen to audiobooks. They could sit quietly and do some drawing or some coloring. Or quiet toys. I remember my daughter's really enjoying, up until a certain age, Legos. All of this can be really enjoyable and something they can do quietly that gives their body a rest and then also gives you a break. So planning ahead, that sort of thing. Then there's also, you can have them do arts and crafts that encourages their creativity in Ramadan. So whether they make a menu for the family for iftar, would be one fun crafty thing to do. Another one would be making Ramadan placemats or dua cards to post. And that's a wonderful way of remembering. Making a dua card, decorating it, and then posting it. All those things help them, inshallah, be able to participate. Next, we have family entertainment. We need something lighthearted as a family and fun. Nothing perfect here. We're just talking about having some lighthearted fun. I do recall when I was growing up that as a family, we would create little poems to share at the dinner table, or we would have these jokes we would tell, or we could come up with a short play just for each other as a family. So it was very, very lighthearted and very informal. You could also have the kids play card games or board games, in a fun, lighthearted way so they could enjoy each other. Another great way would to get them involved would encourage their participation in meal preparation and serving. They could set the table, they could decorate the table, they could help prepare the meal, they could help wash the dishes. All these are wonderful contributions, and knowing they're getting a reward for it gets them motivated, gets them involved as a family. Of course, another really important one would be Ramadan inspired activities for family bonding. You could be reciting Quran or doing dhikr together, reading aloud a hadith and discussing how to implement it, making a family list of things we're grateful for and thanking Allah in dua. There's so many wonderful things you can do as a family, daily or weekly, that really will enhance the Ramadan experience and create traditions. Last but not least, outdoor time is essential. Getting our kids moving off the screens and out the door, doing energy busting activities because they have energy. They're kids. There's bike riding, taking a nature walk, jump roping, or even delivering a meal or a gift to a family friend or neighbor. There's so much one can do in this blessed month of Ramadan that can be fun, that can be engaging. It doesn't require a lot from us as parents. So thank you so much for staying until the end. Alhamdulillah, we come to the end of the webinar where we focused on resetting and implementing a new revised mindset, which will really allow you to change your perspective and therefore support you in changing your actions for the better. Alhamdulillah, it's been such a pleasure being here with you in this webinar. And I so appreciate you attending and investing your precious time and efforts towards improving your parenting bidnillah. So to access this gift, just use the link provided on the screen for the checklist. And you can post it on your refrigerator for easy reference, or you can use it to plan your daily activities during this blessed month. Just use the bit.ly link provided there. Inshallah, it's my hope for you that the blessed month will enable you to become closer to Allah and receive His immense rewards. Even if you are parenting your children, have a blessed Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum all.